We are set, ready to rock for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup, and these guys on your screen ready to rock as well. Some of the stars of today's game, and speaking of the game, let's get right to it. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from the City Beautiful. Fairly short kick taken at the 14 here. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing on first down is Kaepernick. And he's got his man on the out route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
A first carry now for Reggie Bush. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
To throw, Kaepernick, and he will find his man on the outside. That one good for 10 yards, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him, the way he goes after.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And Newton's going to keep it. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, I liked it. Just take the snap, burrow forward, pick up the few inches you need for a first down.
And defensively, I don't think they were expecting that. They looked a little surprised in the middle.
Yeah, a little bit wary there, weren't they? Because that can be a throwaway down where maybe you go play action, fake it, and try and get something big. But instead he said, forget it. Let's just get a first down and start a new set.
Now this time, Kaepernick will throw. And he's got his man on the out route. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
How about the timing on that one? Well, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Kaepernick to throw on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you get a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And this is caught. First catch by Brandon Marshall. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
Now Rodgers. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And not great starting field position here for the offense. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. The drive starts with Reggie Bush. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll keep it in the hands of Bush. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. Graham slotted out to the left. From the gun on 3rd down, Kaepernick. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A gain of 6 there on first. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. And the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get hooked and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. So on 4th down, here's the veteran left-footed punter Donnie Jones to kick it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's not always as straight as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. He got 29 yards that time.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what they play man coverage against you. He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting through. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Michael Kendricks from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On 3rd and long, it's under pressure, and they got to him again. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on 4th down, here's Jake Shum to punt it away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On first down, Kaepernick in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. So after a scoreless first quarter, we at least finally get some points on the board.
But it can't be what either of us expected, can it?
No, the safety's not what you expect for the first points of the game, but one of the goose eggs is gone. And coming out now, the Broncos. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies and try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And to give this time to the tailback. Evades the tackler and now some space. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great effort there. 79 yards. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They just yielded a touchdown on the other end. Now they'll be trying to answer the bell and get a score of their own.
It's their opportunity to match. Can they do exactly what they just saw happen to them? Go down the field and score a touchdown. And to me, the best way to do it, look at your play sheet coordinator and call plays for guys that make the best plays for you. Go to the guys that you know can get the ball down to the end zone.
Kaepernick now to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. They get 25 yards out of that one. And the Lions are going to have a first. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. To throw, it's Kaepernick. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Donald in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single
touchdown, Detroit. Their big tight end, 45 yards. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. So here come the Lions now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So 2nd and 10 here. Kaepernick again here on 2nd and 10. That is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Their dangerous wide receiver. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions have taken the lead. And he'll bang that one through. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
And they'll be in search of 11 yards here on 3rd down. Time running out here on the play clock. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. On play action, Rodgers. He'll dump it off to Procise. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And they're going to speed things up here. Throwing on first down is Kaepernick. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Their dangerous wide receiver with now his second touchdown of this third quarter. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. Welcome back live to Orlando. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Rodgers now on first down. He's going to let this one, and this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, 33 yards. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No,
he?
he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Graham slotted out to the left. On first down, Kaepernick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns it. Timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. On second down, here's Kaepernick. He sets to fire deep, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on third down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's fourth down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on fourth and inches. Newton takes it himself. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're able to convert here on fourth and inches.
Cam Newton is one of the most athletic, most unique quarterbacks we've ever seen. And his athleticism doesn't just show up when he's flipping over guys. It shows up even on plays as simple as quarterback sneaks.
Getting late here in the fourth, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. Now this time, Kaepernick will throw, and it's incomplete.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
Kaepernick going to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On first and 10, here's Kaepernick. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And a nice gain at 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. Fresh set of downs here. One receiver left, three to the right. Kaepernick looking to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. To throw is Kaepernick. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
This will be taken in at the 1. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Marshall will be the lone receiver right. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Pryor has it complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said,
and this is taken in at the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A big play there with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. And this is back to a 5-point game. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this will be covered up by the Lions, and that might just about seal the deal. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And it's taken in at the 9. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And possession will change here with very little time remaining in this contest. And Denver getting set to take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. One final try now for Rodgers. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Well, we saw a close game.